Good morning. Today we're going to be working on a 2015 Sportster. This is an XL 1200 custom. What I'd like to do today is the front brake pads. I like to service them, take a look at it. They're a little squeaky. And we'll check the brake fluid. And with that, if you got any questions, just ask. And I appreciate thumbs up and leave a comment. All right, the first thing we want to do is to check this fluid. Let's read on top. It asks for .4. So make sure you have some .4. The next thing you want to do is let's cover the tank. I like to take a little towel and protect the paint. So with that, if anything was to run off, we're protected. All right, be conscious, these are Phillips heads. And really, they're not that tight. Make sure it fits in nice and squarely. Now it's hard to tell with the window. It's at the halfway point. So at least I know when I take this off, it ain't gonna overflow. All right, we'll put this aside. Now we look at the fluid, it looks good. So with that, be conscious of all this. I'm going to clean this cover up, and all I'm going to do is place this on there. I just don't want no pressure. You see it calls for .4. I'm going to place this back on here with no pressure. I ain't going to screw it down. I'm just making sure that when I collapse these pistons on my caliper, it don't force the fluid all over the place. But yet, I don't want this to have pressure where we can't move it. With that, let's go over to the caliper. All right, with an 8mm, we're going to loosen this pin. This is a 2015 setup. All right, we got that. Now what I want to do is collapse these pads. We got the pin loose. Now to collapse the pad. I went and got myself a little putty knife to protect and move it slowly. I'll start with the putty knife and collapse it. Take your time. Now with the putty knife right like that, just take your time with it. You'll see it gets easier. Very easy. You don't want to cock that piston in this caliper. Just want to move it slowly. When you're putting new pads in, it's utmost important that you collapse these pistons totally. Now you got it. Take notice. And then you can push it out. And there you go. But it's utmost important you fully collapse these pistons. If you have to remove the caliper to do it, do it. It's no problem, these two. I choose not to. I'm going to take this pin out and show you guys this is the easy way. Now you'll see the back pad will come out first. That's one. Now with your hands, just push down. And there's that pad. It hinges and pins. We're going to clean these. If they look bad, I'd replace them. Now the pin comes all the way out. You'll see this is loose now. Remember, it's spring-loaded, so pins out, and here's this pad. We're going to clean them up. All these pads we're doing was squeaking. With that, always make sure and take a look. We just collapsed that. Now let's go look at that master cylinder on the handlebars. Now we're up at the master cylinder. Do not touch the handle. I shine my light and I see it's at the halfway heavy level mark. I want to open it up and take a look. I don't want no fluid. As you inspect this, you're going to see it would stain and drip here. But we checked it. I lift it up. Everything's beautiful. Put it back down just to be on the safe side. You don't want to seal this up because you cause yourself more pressure collapsing those pistons in the brake caliper when you want to install brand new ones. Make sure you wear a face mask when you're cleaning these. They all look good. It's just that. I'm just taking a little 80 grit. Put that aside. That's the outside one. There's the inside one. Like I said, make sure you got a face mask on. Let's clean this pin. I like to take a little steel wool, 4-0. Don't do it heavy, just to get any brake dust. These pads are wearing real nice. That's why you gotta service them. If you hear a noise, you feel something. You know, it takes a couple minutes. And you could tell by the way these are wearing that it's even. Sometimes what happens is one of the pistons seize up or gets stubborn and these will go on an angle. So it's worth to take a look at it before you destroy your caliper, rotor, and etc. because it's easy to fix when they are sticking. With that, we'll start with the first pad, which would be this outside. Slide it up. You'll see, if you take a close look, you're going to see your slot right there. And that's where it needs to be. You're going to take your pin, and it's spring-loaded. Alright, that's the first one. Now you're going to take your second one. Same thing. You can see. Take a look. Now take it, and that's your second one. It's that easy. The hard part's over. You inspected it, you see what you got. Now take your ratchet, and let's push down and tighten this. As you see now, I pushed in. Now it hits the threads. We made sure we cleaned everything. Don't get crazy with anything. Nice. Inspect everything. Seems beautiful. Now let's go check that fluid one more time. Okay, all looks good. Nothing leaked. Everything looks nice. Remember, there's a rubber gasket that makes it liquid tight. Be conscious the way you took something off. You see how easy it is. If somebody got to it, they always over tighten this, which causes you a lot of big headaches down the road, because what happens is you strip this trying to remove it, because you're not going to touch this for another 5,000 miles, or if your brakes seem to be acting up. I like my Harley polish. I'll spray a little just in case. I don't want the brake fluid to eat away at this paint. I sprayed a little detailer in there, wipe it down. It's just a good habit. I tell you, I hate when you look at some of these and the paint's all bubbling and everything, and that's from brake fluid. So a couple seconds, wipe it down, and this stuff will look good for a long time. With that, I'm going to get the bike up in the air to test the brakes. Now what I got is the floor jack under the front of the frame so I can spin it. Right now, there's no pressure on these front brakes. So what I like to do is I clean this area. It's spinning freely. Takes about 10 pumps, and there we go. With that, we serviced our brakes, took a look at it. The bike has 17,000 miles on it, and she looks fine. If you could, leave a comment, thumbs up, and subscribe, because it sure helps. Any questions, ask. With that, you know you have good brakes. The fluid's been checked, the pads have been checked, you don't need to replace them, you cleaned off the dust, hopefully that squeaking noise will stop. All right, have a great day, ride safe.